Transformers 2 is the sequel to last summer's, right?
Yeah.
Came out last summer?
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Summer before.
No,
Two
summers.
2 summers ago's blockbuster hit, both directed by Michael Bay, and written by writers that we've talked about a lot on this show, Kurtzman and Orsi, who
Hitmakers.
who did the last Transformers with Bay, and did also earlier this summer Star Trek.
All they do is make hits.
That's true. All they do is make hits.
That's why they're a two-name duo.
So, Transformers 2 continues the story. We follow young Sam, You know what? Forget this. Transformers are giant robots and they fight each other. Jeff,
With people.
you were the one guy on this show
Yes.
that did not like the original Transformers. However, this year's...
Not even a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hated it.
I did.
But this year's interesting because you've got you on the summer movie wager. It's
You
your
got a dog
number
in the
one
fight.
pick.
Well,
so you have this
right.
it's like Pete Rose or something. I don't know. You got stakes and
Pete Rose.
So
You're banning me from baseball, aren't you, man?
Yeah, so lie to us
I
or
am.
be
tell me,
honest.
Jeff,
I'm gonna get body slammed by Andre the Giant, aren't I?
Was part 2 any better? You guys, it's been released in, some of the sequences were shot in IMAX. It's been released in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX.
I did not.
You guys did not.
We did not.
So
We just saw it at a very nice
take that as
theater.
what you will.
take it
Jeffrey,
as
how
what you
much
will.
did you hate Transformers 2? Was it more than the first?
No, it was not more than first.
as
It was
much.
equal. The difference this time was that I went in without any expectation. The first time I really was hoping that I was going to love it because I love Transformers, the toys, growing up. And and this time I sort of knew what I was going in for. You guys probably could write my review for me because you know how I feel. But I will say this, there is this moment in the movie about halfway through when the roommate of Shia LaBeouf is talking to this impossibly attractive blonde female, and he says, "I got a pizza. I got all the meats of every animal that you could possibly fit on a pizza. Oh, you don't like that? I got a vegetarian." And I think that's the mission statement for this movie. It's like, we'll give you everything you could possibly want. Don't want that? Okay, we'll give you everything. It's such pandering filmmaking. This movie is far too long, and every single moment is so jam-packed, full of explosions and yelling and impossibly hot people, and I get it. There's going to be a bunch of people out there screaming at their computer screens watching me right now going, "That's what movies are about. It's about having fun." I didn't have fun. That's fine if you did. I'm not judging you.
And that's the thing. I mean, if you didn't have fun, you didn't have fun. End of story.
Yeah,
it's
and
not.
there's
It's not that the movie.
You can't put. I mean, every single moment is so. It seems so unconfident because, like, oh, there's a little robot and we'll have him fart and it'll make fire because God help there be 1 second where something amusing doesn't happen, and it's like ADD filmmaking, and for a movie that is way too long.
Interesting. Okay. I actually really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I was surprised too. Because I knew I was gonna come. That's why I wanted Jeff to go first. Because I was like, I'm gonna like
You
this
gotta
movie,
balance this out.
and you guys aren't gonna like this movie. Because for whatever reason, I actually thought a lot of stuff worked even more in this movie. The things that I didn't like about the first movie, like the John Turturro character, I really liked in this movie. I felt like that's how the John Turturro character should be. I mean, Shia LaBeouf is really good. He hits that sort of like awkward, fast-talking, nervous kid thing.
I agree with you on that point.
He
I think
nailed it.
I've come around on him. I think he's great.
Yeah, he nailed it. And I love the parents, and I thought, the comedy for me, for whatever reason, worked for me. And it is a long movie, but for me, it didn't actually feel all that long for what I was going through. And I know this is why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
And I thought the action sequence, look, it's Michael Bay. You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get wall-to-wall crap happening with beautiful people. That is Michael Bay to a T. That's Michael Bay since Bad Boys. It's Michael Bay. That's what he does. So for me, I went in going, all right, blow myself. I want to see the biggest, craziest crap that you can throw at me, and we saw it. Not only that, you get to see the Destructicons. When that stuff started connecting together, I was like, thank you, childhood dream, done.
But I know it's your turn, but I just have to say that even then, it is again what I said in the last Transformers movie. It's so over-designed that you don't actually see anything. You can't see what it used to be when it's in robot form. It is so. I mean, it's just a mash of shiny metal, pointy stuff. It's like H.R. Geiger designed it all instead of it being.
That's something we disagree with. Like, I love
designs.
Optimus Prime has his like doors here, and you can see the thing. But that's me. So I'm the lone guy who enjoyed this movie.
Well, I retain my disagreement with you on how they transform, and I think if it was more simple, that would have been not as elegant. And I thought that was sort of the children of men-ishness of the Transformers movies, is that things are the special.
What did you think of the movie?
Over-design, I think, is a good thing. But I do agree with Jeff. I just want to say on this film that there was a clusterfuck of like, a steel robot fighting a steel robot. I couldn't see. Now I saw this movie in IMAX, which was a terrible experience. I couldn't see anything that was happening. I saw the first film once in a regular theater and then again in IMAX. And even though I had seen it, watching IMAX made the action scenes completely incoherent.
Interesting.
That brings me to remind everyone that I loved the first Transformers, and I remain and love Michael Bay as a director. I've loved every single one of his films. That being said, I detested this movie. I thought that what I enjoyed about the first one was that it was very childlike. Even the sense of humor, even the moments that I didn't laugh at it, reminded me of watching Goonies or The Explorers. That it had this very childlike awe and sense of humor. And in this movie, it just felt...
It added the full to the awe.
In this movie, it felt very... where the first one was childlike, this just felt immature. I must say, though, and the plot, it was total sequelitis, that the plot was just so up its own mythology. It had none of the purity of the story, very simple story of the first one. Whereas most movies, the MacGuffin is the excuse for the story. There's like 3 scenes in Raiders of the Lost Ark that talk about the Lost Ark, and they're very simple and they all resonate. This movie, every scene was this long speech about some stupid thing that I could care less about. It felt like cutscenes in video games.
It was The Matrix you were talking about.
Yeah.
And you should have been
The Matrix, and then it turned into something else later.
No, it was Dust and Soul.
Yeah, okay, right.
I don't understand what's hard to follow.
So I just thought it was corny. I thought the story was so hard to follow, and I should be easy to follow. That being said, these special effects, and I said this about the first one, it's a travesty that they did not win Academy Awards. I think if someone from the 1950s time traveled to now,
they'd think robots exist.
They would go, they wouldn't go, wow, movies have come a long way. Look at these special effects. They would go, wait, we have robots now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks like they built freaking robots. And there's so many things that Michael Bay does that people are not even recognizing is happening. Not only that, the sound design.
Yeah.
This movie must win for sound design, and I think that it does something so incredible in that what we loved about the sounds in Star Wars was we actually enjoyed the sound. The sound of that the TIE fighter was a cool
identity.
sound.
And you hear a lightsaber open up, you know what's happening.
Exactly, and the sound design are actually cool sounds in Transformers.
So one thing I think we should at least just touch on is that there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on the internets talking about the sort of racism in the movie. I'm gonna go ahead and just say, for me personally, I don't think that what was meant had anything to do with racism. I think it was just an accident of epic proportions with the characters that the way they were designed. The two there's two robots that are sort of young urbanites, as it were, and they're designed poorly for the choices. But if you read how that came to pass across the internet, it literally was just a series of multiple failures that ended up with something on the screen where everybody just went, how the hell could that have ended up on the screen? But I don't think... That
doesn't excuse it in my book.
I don't think Michael Bay is a racist. That's what I wanted to say.
I want to end on a positive note and say this, because I'm sure everyone will hate me.
Popcorn tasted good.
The popcorn was delicious, and this is a popcorn. No, you will not get more spectacle for your dollar in any movie this summer. Now, if that's what you're into, spectacle, like you said with the special effects, I came out of this movie thinking to myself, I can't believe this was an affordable movie to make. There is such a scale to everything. Unfortunately, it's like kind of getting beaten over the head with scale.
You should see it again and not IMAX.
Yeah. But it is
really,
the most spectacular.
You should.
Yeah.
It's just on a pure, like, it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going.
If this movie, seeing it in IMAX, felt like when you're a kid and you're playing with your action figures,
You just go
and
bang, 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 bang.
and you're seeing in your head this really cool thing, but your action figures are really just mashed together.
You should honestly see it not
look
because
forward-
I
I look
definitely
forward to that
saw
day.
every crazy flip and break
Looking
and
forward to it.
stab, and it was like